They have taken everything from me. Everything. But I won't give up. I won't allow them to win. I will survive. They can't stop my last escape. With those words uttered, welcome back, adventurers, once again to Let's Play Biohazard 3 Real Survival. In the previous episode, Jill Valentine and I managed to escape the clutches of the Nemesis, aka Octomonkey, by fleeing into the police station, leaving Brad Vickers to his grisly fate. Also managed to acquire this sapphire gem, which had been confiscated by Marvin, since it was stolen from the City Hall in downtown. We're going to have to return it there at some point, and we're also going to have to find its counterpart. But that will come later. But for now, we have the rest of what we can explore, what we can possibly explore in the police station for now. Starting with the dark room. I wonder if there's anything particularly interesting in these lockers. Let's have a look. Some gunpowder. That might come in handy. We'll leave it in there for now, since we can't really use it. Doesn't appear to be anything noteworthy in these cabinets here, which is well, not really surprising given the fact that there was gunpowder in the chamber, or in the storage container. And of course, since this is a separate safe room, I'm going to be storing away the ink ribbon and the sapphire. But once again, going to have to take the sapphire with us, along with the reloading tool, because yeah, that really is going to be a grind. Then again, this is real survival. Yeah, I'll leave that in there for now. Or rather, Jill will leave that in for now, since I'm playing with her, not as her, because I'm not Jill Valentine. And likewise, Jill Valentine is not me. But anyway, we're exploring the dark room, where normally we would be developing any sort of negatives into photos, but we don't really need to do that, since it seems that the photo files that we've encountered thus far have all been developed by other people, so we don't need to do anything with the dark room in particular. Before we leave, I and Jill together noticed a file behind the typewriter, which is definitely worth giving a look over. David's memo. So this is the memorandum of David Ford. You might remember him from as the author of the first operation report in Biohazard 2. It appears that he's written something else since then. My sanity is at its end. I still can't believe this is happening. We lost another man yesterday. Mayer, one of our better marksmen. He saw me panic once we were overrun by the zombies, but he came back to save me. But when the time came to return the debt, I ran. I can still hear him calling out my name. I can still hear the screams coming from behind. The sound of his flesh being stripped from its bones. I was afraid. Terrified. It's the 27th. The fight to stay alive continues. I took out several zombies who managed to break through the barricades. Now I'm cutting through the chill with whiskey, unloading my Mossberg on anything undead. That shotgun's become a close friend of mine. I've blasted many a zombie into fertilizer with it. We've lost 13 men as of yesterday. In 3 hours, we'll bicker over trivial things in the meeting room. It's a total waste of time. When I've finished this bottle, my old friend Mossberg will be turning one last body into fertilizer. Peace at last. I can hardly wait. And we have filed David's memo. Well, now we know how David Ford met his untimely end. He chose to take his own life rather than allow himself to die at the hands of the zombies, which left his surviving colleague Elliot Edward to try and finish what he started by searching for a way from the police station through the sewer entrance, even though nobody really knew that whether or not the sewers would be free of any sort of possible threat, which worst case scenario, they weren't. But David was also the one that mentioned the appearance of the lickers when they intervened shortly after the zombies broke through into the police station. But yes, he is dead, and his predicament with his comrade Mayor is not unlike the situation that we faced with Brad that long ago. Brad was the one who saved us from the tyrant by throwing us the very weapon needed to destroy it, but when the time came to pay him back, we literally could not do anything to save him. Well, I mean, we could have, but a Beretta and a shotgun weren't going to do as much damage to Nemesis as a rocket launcher could do to a tyrant. In any event, there was nothing we could do to prevent Brad's demise in that instance. However, we must keep going if we are to survive Raccoon City. But let us leave the dark room for now. And continue exploring down the stairs before we make our way to the second floor. I imagine this door will be open, and I imagine it will also be crawling with creatures. As ever, there is only one way to find out. That is to go through. That is the sound of zombies. And running dangerously low on handgun bullets. Oh, you are lost. And there's more of you. Oh, I'm actually going to go for a shotgun blast here. Get all three of you at once. Careful not to be showered in that T-virus infected blood. Now that was a win for the books. Although having said that, my ammo is starting to run dangerously low, so I think I'll get the shotgun ready just in case. Might have to mix up that gunpowder downstairs after all. Before we head into that room, just walked past these barricades. Fortunately, they don't seem to be broken. Ah, there's some red herbs down here. And this door is sturdily barricaded. So we cannot go into that room past this area, which is a good thing, because we aren't really that equipped to do that. Red herb number 1. And red herb number 2. There we go. I'm actually going to... we need to run back to the save room. Or to the dark room, sorry. And luckily enough, these barricades are actually sturdy enough. For the moment, they haven't been broken through. And there is actually a notice here, right next to the door. Please keep quiet while meetings are in session. Yeah, that room in this corridor is the operations room where they were planning their strategy and surviving. But, well, things haven't actually gone too well. But then again, when have they ever, since this whole thing began? First thing I want to do is put these red herbs in this item box. And then I'll go back and get the green herbs in the lobby. Gunpowder. I know at some point I'll have to make more potent gunpowder. For now, given the fact that I've been wasting so much of my ammunition, but actually, you know what? I think I'll, having said that, I think I'll get rid of my ammunition here and retrieve those herbs in the lobby, because I think I'm going to need them. I'll go into the operations room in just a moment, but I want to make sure that we actually get those herbs in the lobby. So come along, Jill. We have some herbs to retrieve. No zombies breaking into here. There is one zombie that's playing possum, so we're going to ignore that zombie altogether. Back into the main hall we go, and we're greeted with the classic Biohazard 2 ambience here. Once again. Go out the front door because that would be nothing short of suicide. But now we finally get to combine our herbs, which is going to be a huge improvement for us in terms of actually staying alive. So, there we go. So we examine a mixture of one green and a red herb. Basically, we now have 2 equivalents of the first aid spray, which is hugely beneficial for us. But of course, we may have dealt with most of the threats on the first floor. We have to take care to remember that Nemesis is still outside. And sooner or later, he is going to make an uninvited entrance. Because Nemesis doesn't need an invitation in the slightest. I'll put these herbs away and get my ammo back, because, yeah, I was only storing it away temporarily. I do not want to have no ammo in my in our inventory when we do inevitably encounter Nemesis again. And encounter him we will. No. I think for now we can safely store away the reloading tool for the time being. We will definitely be needing it again at some point. Back out we go. Back to our original destination of the operations room. Because we need to find whether or not Jill's S.T.A.R.S identity card is still in the precinct. There are two locations. It could be upstairs, it could be downstairs. And since we're already downstairs, we'll be checking the first floor first. Otherwise known as the ground floor. It seems like no zombies are present and correct in the operations room. And we've got some extra ink ribbons. We'll not say no to those. We'll never say no to those. I believe the words "no shit, Sherlock" apply to themselves in this situation. Of course, the operations map for the R.P.D during their harrowed survival days, which unfortunately did not work out for them in the slightest. And there is something on the desk. The much needed S.T.A.R.S card. We could have taken Brad's card if we had chosen to face Nemesis's wrath outside, or just take his card and run like a coward anyway. But alas, we did not do that. An ID card with S.T.A.R.S. Sorry, let me read that again. An ID card for S.T.A.R.S. with Jill's picture on it. Yeah, as in the S.T.A.R.S card that she had that served as her introduction. Yeah, we saw Jill's S.T.A.R.S card in Biohazard, in the original Biohazard, along with Chris's S.T.A.R.S card. I believe her S.T.A.R.S number is maybe 0783 or something. I don't know. I'd have to. I don't remember all that too well. But it's signed by Brian Irons, since he is the chief of police. And now that we have the S.T.A.R.S card, we can use the terminal in the hallway, or in the main lobby. But we're not going to do that just yet. And there is the fireplace in this room. And lo and behold, more shotgun shells. So glad we got shotgun shells. And there is nothing we can do with the fireplace because this is the portrait that was brought by none other than the art connoisseur Brian Irons worth apparently hundreds of thousands of dollars. This particular piece is titled Sacrifice to the Hellfire. And of course, if we interacted with this, we would cause a time paradox of the Grievous Order. And it seems there was nothing in this area besides the shotgun shells, for which I am eternally grateful. Just do another sweep of the room just in case. Appears to be nothing but litter and trash around. So we're done with the operations room for the moment, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, eventually we're going to have to go upstairs and scour out what little we can of the second floor. Of course, I'm sure that getting to the S.T.A.R.S office is going to be as easy as all that, because this place is overrun by zombies, both zombie citizens and the remnants of the Raccoon Police Department's staff. So just combining those two together. And make our way outside again. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to call that an episode. I know it's relatively short, but we did actually cover a fair bit of ground on the first floor of the R.P.D precinct. So when we return, adventurers, Jill and I will head upstairs and explore what little we can of the second floor, the corridors leading to the S.T.A.R.S office. As always, dear adventurers, until next we meet.